onto our website as well. So we are recording, just so everybody knows that. Thank you. So yes, we are super excited. It's always nice to get a group of brand new students in, and this is obviously no different. So having students coming in from Yorkson and Peter Ewart just brings a whole brand new energy into the building, and it's just nice to see. And obviously we're here to provide a learning opportunity as well as a place that students can have a sense of belonging, and that's our goal, in order to have all of our students feel like RE Mountain is their second home, and that it's a place that they enjoy coming to, and are willing to put themselves out there, because that's really what we ask for: students to take risks, students to be prepared to fail, and fail so that we can help them learn from the mistakes that they made so that they can be successful. So failure doesn't mean failure in the sense of they're going to not pass a grade. Failure being, this is how we learn, right? We didn't all hop on a bike the first time and learn how to ride the bike right away. So that's what we're all about, is encouraging students to take risks, staff taking risks, admin taking risks, and not being afraid that if that risk doesn't pay off, that we're not just going to say, hey, that didn't work, try again. So we're really excited to hear a lot of the things that the grade 8s are doing currently at Yorkson or Peter Ewart, and they're doing things that are going to set them up for success when they come to Mountain. So we're really excited for that new group to bring that energy in. This is a absolutely beautiful building. Every day I walk into work and I'm amazed. I look somewhere new and there's something that I never noticed before. And it's unfortunate that the building opened during or right before COVID. And it's unfortunate that people weren't allowed into the building last year. And now with our new COVID protocols, visitors are extremely limited because this place is amazing. And if everything were to work out, we would have everybody in our gym right now, not doing this virtually, and introducing you to this amazing facility. And there's so many amazing things that happen in this building on a daily basis. And again, I can't believe the amount of energy that the staff brings, and the students just feed off of that. And again, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And I've been in 3 other schools, so it's pretty amazing that I get to work at this place every day. So we are going to work towards transitioning your students. We have some plans. We've already had our rec leadership class go down to Yorkson and work with the grade 8s already, and introducing them to some of our student leaders. Ashley Manier, our grade 9 leadership teacher, she had some plans to work with Yorkson and Peter Ewart, but now with the COVID protocols, we're not able to do that. But as we come out the other side of our current round of protocols, that is our top priority, is to transition students to this building, get our future Eagles used to being in the building, understanding kind of the dynamic of it. Again, the energy, the size, understanding where classrooms are, because that's a huge anxiety for students as well. And for many of you, this might be your first student getting into high school. So we want to make sure that parents and students are equally comfortable with the transition process. So we do have a number of things planned. Like I said, it's just whether or not we're going to be able to do it with the current protocols. But we do have significant plans, and again, to welcome all of our new students to RE Mountain before June. So hopefully we can get on the other side of this. So again, really looking forward to it. If you have any questions, as Mr. Golub said, feel free to reach out to us after the presentation, or reach out to your home schools and have them reach out to us if you have any questions at all. So thank you everybody for being here tonight. This is a great turnout, and I'll pass it over to Mr. Golub.
Hi again, everybody. And for those of you just joining, I believe we've got about 160 parents online right now. So that's amazing. So Mr. Keen, if you could just flip the slide for me, please. The biggest thing for parents that we want to make you aware of is that getting involved in the school, it makes the biggest difference. I mean, we just had your learners spend 3 years in middle school, and right now they're going to come into this school. And what happens with our little grade 9s, they kind of get together with their little wolf pack and they walk around all kind of scared and don't really know the building. And we want to kind of take that away and make it a home for them. So, Mr. Keen, if you could flip the slide, please. The number one thing is to get involved. Just please help your child get involved in the school. We have many activities. We're going to go into a video in a few minutes that actually goes through some of the activities. But again, Mr. Keen, if you could flip to the one more slide there. Remember, we have athletics. We have music that includes band, choir. We have an excellent drama and theater sports program. Upwards of 30 clubs that are fully run with teacher sponsors, approved through our student council. We have multiple leadership classes at all levels from 9 to 12. So your child gets a lot of benefit from just trying to get involved wherever they see that they have a home. And through that, they have a home with us. So also for the parents, Mr. Keen, if you can flip to the last slide there, the biggest thing for you is staying in contact with us. A lot of times when kids go to high school, we lose contact with the parents. And we really like it when we keep that contact with you. So it's my invitation to you right now, stay in contact with us. Always check out our website at REMountainsecondary.com, our Instagram, RE Mountain Eagles, and Twitter at MSS Info. If you need anything, feel free to always reach out to the teachers of your student, the principals, or the counselors at any given time, because we really appreciate that school doesn't just happen here in the building, it happens at home as well. Now, with that, I'm going to have Ms. Babalos come on just to do a quick introduction before our video. Ms. Babalos?
All right, hi again. In case you missed the little intro at the beginning, my name is Janice Babalos. I am one of the 4 school counselors that work here at RE Mountain Secondary. So we've just prepared a video presentation that was shown to your students earlier today in their classes. So both Peter Ewart and Yorkson both had access to this video today, followed by like a very similar format, a live Q&A with one of our counselors to answer any questions that may have popped up. We're going to show you the same video and then same idea. If any questions come up along the way, please do feel free to throw them into the chat and then we will go through them afterwards, after the video presentation is over. The video is about 20 minutes long, so it's a little bit lengthy, but there's a lot of information to unpack. So anything comes up, please jot it down, and then we're happy to address it afterwards. Ms. Kostopoulos, do you have?
Nope, just put your questions into the chat, just reiterating what you think you covered it all.
Perfect.
Hi everyone, my name is Miss So. I'm one of the counselors here at RE Mountain Secondary, and I just wanted to welcome all of you to our school for September 2022. And we're going to go over some course planning things as well as what to look forward to when coming to high school. Quickly, I'm just going to introduce our counseling team. So it goes by last name. If your last name starts with A to F, you're with Mr. Kemp. G to L, M, you're with Miss O. L to R is Miss Springanatic, and Miss Babalos is S to Z. So if you're kind of confused, I know Miss Springanatic and I have a bit of a weird last name, Alpha. Just message us and let us know, and we'll tell you who your counselor is. So counseling services at the high school is a little bit different than middle school. We do a whole bunch of different things, and we see kids for all various reasons. So here are some of the things that we do in counseling. So academic advising, social emotional things, study organizational skills, course selection, career planning, grad requirements, post-secondary information, and scholarship information. So we do a whole bunch of different things. And you're always welcome to come and see us if you have any questions. If you're interested in IB or have applied for IB and you have questions about courses and course programming and schedules, please make sure that you contact Ms. Kostopoulos, as she is the person to sort of help you with all of those things. You can email her directly or go to the website, Mountain website for IB, as all of the programs are information are posted on there as well. How do we make an appointment with one of us? So if you're wanting to see Ms. Kostopoulos for IB or any of the counselors, you just come into the counseling office and see Ms. Houston, and she can make an appointment for you with us. You can also message us directly if needed. Coming next year, there's lots of clubs and activities and things to get involved with. Here are some of the things that we have to offer. We always encourage the grade 9 students to try to get involved and try something new. You know, getting out of your comfort zone, meeting new people, getting involved. It's a really fun thing. And we have tons of, as you can see, tons of activities and clubs. We usually have a club day where all the clubs sort of put booths up in the gallery area where you can talk to all of the kids and see what each club is about and get a better idea of maybe what fits you. Breakfast with Santa. So here are some of the fun things that we did this year. We had breakfast as a whole school, and then we had a whole bunch of Christmas activities that followed just before the break, which was really nice. We haven't done that in a while, so that was cool. We got to make ornaments, do puzzles, do karaoke. And it was just a really fun-filled day. If you're interested in athletics, intramurals, we also have a ton of sports. This year we had sports in full runs, which was really, really nice. So we had basketball, cross country, volleyball, and then in the spring, hopefully continuing on. Intramurals, we have activities at lunchtime where you can get involved as well. So please make sure you listen to the announcements. We also have TVs in our hallways with the announcements that tell you when these sports are happening and when they take place. Just wanted to show you our gallery area of our school so you get an idea of what RE Mountain kind of looks like. Hopefully in the spring, all of you will be able to come and visit us and do a tour and see how wonderful our school is. All right, so we're gonna go into the courses now. So in grade 9, you are required to take English, social science, math, PE, and career education. So for math, we do offer a core adapted class for students with IEPs. Normally your teachers will talk to you and let us know, who fits that class the best, right? So if you have any questions about it, you can talk to your teacher. In PE, you have a few choices. You've got girls, boys, and co-ed. Career 9 education is a class that is embedded in your course. So what does that mean? It means you will be doing parts of that class within English, socials, science, and math, okay? And there will be a mark in June at the end of the year. For elective courses, we have applied skill, technology and arts exploration, and languages. So normally we always recommend students to take a language in grade 9 up to grade 11, as some post-secondary schools require a language 11. So UBC, you need up to a language 11. UVic, you need up to an intro language 11. So we offer Spanish and French. For pre-IB, your courses will look like this in grade 9: Humanities 9, Math 9, Science 9, French 9 or Mandarin 9, PE 9, and then 2 elective choices. So I'm just going to go over some of the options for your elective choices. So in tech ed, we've got drafting design, electronics and robotics, metalwork, power technology, which is automotive, woodwork 9. Home ec, we've got food studies, textiles, which is also sewing, information technology, which is a computer classes. For visual arts, we have visual arts 9, which is like drawing and painting. Studio arts 3D ceramics, which is like clay pottery making. Media arts is graphic design, normally mostly done on the computer. Film and television and photography. Leadership and innovation 9, we've got leadership 9, entrepreneurship and marketing. And then we've got for fine arts, drama. We also on our website have a booklet of all of these courses in detail, explaining exactly what they're doing in each of the classes if you want more detailed explanation. Grade 9 for music, we've got concert band, choir, jazz band, jazz choir, concert choir, and chamber choir. All right, what's great about grade 9? So the great things are you're gonna have a variety of classes. So all your classes will be different, and every teacher rotates, right? So you have a different teacher for every class. You've got choices for your electives, and you're gonna meet a whole bunch of new people because we've got kids from all over coming to our schools. So it's gonna be a whole, you know, different sort of combination of classes and friends and teachers. And with that, you do have more freedom. You are allowed, you know, to go off campus during lunch, which that's what open campus means, right? But we do ask, you know, make sure you're safe, make sure you're with someone, and make sure you come back on time because some kids lose track of time. And make sure you also participate in the extracurricular activities. What are our expectations for you coming to Mountains? It's the same as in middle school. Take pride in your school, be on time, be prepared to learn, treat everybody with respect, use appropriate language, follow instructions, contribute positively to the school by being involved, right? Those are some of the things that will help you be successful as well. Lots of kids ask, you know, how do I be successful in grade 9? You know, make sure you come prepared, have all your things ready to go for class. Attend, make sure you go to all your classes and try your best to participate. Make sure you get your homework done. If you have issues with homework or questions about homework, reach out to your teachers. You know, you can also come see us if you need help, if you're really struggling, but make sure you ask for help. Use an agenda. So we actually have the Mountain Time app, which has replaced the old book agenda. And so it's an app that you download and you put all your courses in, and then that is going to save you a lot of headaches because our schedule can be a bit confusing. So you just put in your courses and it'll tell you where you need to be for A block, B block, C block, okay? Use Flex Block to get extra help. So we have an extended block in the morning, which is called Flex Block. And that's where you can also get support for any of your classes, extra time for things. And make sure you contact your teachers and us if you are missing classes or if anything is going on, you missed an assignment or things like that. Just make sure you let your teachers know where you are. If you need for more information, again, you can contact us at any time, email, phone calls, or Teams message. So a really good way to get to know what RE Mountain is all about is our website. We have tons and tons of information on there. We also have an Instagram account at RE Mountain Eagles. You can kind of see what's going on at the school, but I would highly recommend that you check out our website, especially if you want more detailed information about our courses. So today is January 24th. We are doing the course planning with you. And then the MyEd, which where you go online to do the course planning, opens today as well. The IB placement exams are to be announced. As we, due to COVID, we've had to make some changes. All right, course request. So we're gonna go into how do I actually make a course request? So what you need to do is go onto the internet and log on to the following site, which is the myeducation.gov.bc.ca. I'm sure you guys have already been on there. It actually opens on January 24th. So today it opens, and sorry, it closes on the 22nd. So what you need to do, log on to the page MyEd. Once you get onto the log on page, it will ask you for your student number. And then the default password, if you don't have a password, use this one, student $35. So it's capital S, TUDENT $ and 35. The first time you log into MyEd, it'll request that you change your password. So make sure you create a new password and follow the instructions carefully. Many of you already probably been on MyEd, but if you haven't, please make sure you follow the instructions. The system will ask you for an email. Make sure you use an email that you check regularly, and then you will need to select a security question. Entering the courses, once you get into MyEd, you'll see this tab at the top. It says My Info. You want to click on that. Once you click on that, you'll see on the left side, it says Requests. These instructions will also be on the forms that you have with you. So don't worry, these instructions are on the forms as well. Read the instructions on the page. Make sure you read them carefully, and it'll explain how to select your classes. So make sure a course selection, you click on this button at the bottom here. Must choose 2 electives from the elective menu and an alternate request. What is an alternate request? So that is just in case classes are full, you want a second choice, okay? Some of our electives get really full, and so we want to have a first choice and a second choice. If you have something funny that happens when you're doing the course request, you're not able to complete it, please, you can write a little note to us and just say what it is that you need, and we can try and fill that for you. And then finally, to make sure that everything is saved, please press post. You have to press this button or none of your items will be saved. If you've saved it, you will see this green box. It says request posted successfully. So make sure you see that green box when you've completed all your requests. All right. So when you get home tonight, go over your course selections with your parents, guardians, brothers, sisters, especially if you have siblings that come to Mountain, you can ask them about courses too, right? What electives are interesting, and I don't know, they can give you a bit of more feedback. Course selections are due at February 22nd. The MyEd will be open today, so please make sure you get online and do that as soon as possible. The sooner you do it, then you know it's just much easier to get your courses all done, and we will let you know if if there are kids that do it late. The problem with that is sometimes you don't get the courses that you really want if you do it really late. So you want to get it done as soon as possible. Anyway, that concludes the course selection program presentations, and then we will have some question and answer period after this presentation is done. Thank you all, and looking forward to seeing all of you soon.
Hi, I'm Jerica Glasgow, and I teach graphic design here at RE Mountain. Students use Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop to create things like logos, characters, surreal imagery, and packaging design. I love that this course gives students the opportunity to not only learn tangible, real-world design skills, but also how to become better communicators and problem solvers through the design process.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Belton, and I'm one of the 2 art teachers here at RE Mountain Secondary. I teach visual arts, photography, yearbook, and IB art. In art classes, you get to work on a lot of independent projects that allow you to create and produce work that will impact your life and others around you. You get to inspire people with your creativity and show students, family, and friends what you are like as an artist. If you want to nurture your creativity, the regular stream of art class is just for you. If you want to challenge yourself and create an art portfolio for art school, go into the IB program. Whatever your choices are, we have an art program just for you. And let's get real, you need art just to get through the day, always.
When I think back, music has been the one constant in my life. I can't remember a time when I wasn't listening to or even being inspired by great music. Great music has the ability to reach people on an emotional level in a very unique way, whether it's pop music or classical, vocal or instrumental. I love it all because of how it can move me and challenge me. I find that the more I learn and discover how music works, the deeper I want to go and the more I want to learn. I've been very fortunate that I have many great music teachers and conductors in my life. They've all shared their gifts and talents, and I want to be a part of that to keep paying it forward. What we've got here in the Mountain Music Department is something very special. The quality of music that is coming from the students here continues to grow and be one of the things that makes this school so special. We have such a great time putting our concerts together. It's a lot of work, but when it finally comes together in front of an audience, it can be overwhelming. We have showcase concerts, jazz nights, the big Pops concert, and then there's the music tours. We've gone to England, Banff, New Orleans, Los Angeles, San Diego, and this year we're taking part in a music festival in Hawaii, not only to perform, but to hear other school groups and professional concerts as well. The great memories we make on these trips last a lifetime.
Food brings people together. Some of our favorite memories are tied to food.
Food is central to any big event across all cultures.
One of the misconceptions about our class is that it's just intended to teach students how to cook. But there is so much more that we do when we are together.
Our main focus is to build community in the classroom, which is why everything that we do in the class is based on group work.
So this is the wood shop. I'm Mrs. Dahl, I'm the wood shop teacher. And when you are here, you learn and you have fun at the same time. We build all kinds of things here. We take ideas from inside your head and then we put them down on paper and then we see if we can build them. In woodshop, you learn all kinds of different techniques and skills that go beyond just working in the shop. You're gonna learn how to do measurement and you're gonna learn how to plan things and think about how things are made. So when you're in the wood shop, we focus on safety. It's a really important part. We also try to create projects that are really interesting and that will last a lifetime.
Hi, welcome to the auto shop. Come on in. Hi, I'm Calvin McCormack. Welcome to the auto shop. In the auto shop, we give a lot of cars a second chance on the road. We give a lot of kids a unique experience in a very different space, working with their hands. It's a lot of fun. Kids get really excited about fixing some of our project cars. This is our 91 Turbo Honda Accord wagon, and it's one of the many projects the kids have been super fun working on, changing, modifying. It's been a passion project of mine over the last few years. We work on motorbikes. We work on kind of new cars, and mostly we work on old cars. But most of all, we have a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Miss Williams, and I teach 5 choirs here at Mountain, and actually went over at Peter Ewart. And in high school, if I look back, I did sports and drama, orchestra and jazz band, and actually singing never crossed my radar. From these subjects, I learned teamwork, improv, musical artistry, and I loved all of them. But I didn't find choir until much, much later in a gospel group, a Black gospel group. And then on my teaching practicum, where a music teacher, like a mentor, said, you know, you could do this choir thing. So I jumped in with the help of incredible mentors along the way. Daily, I get to see students find their voice, and it all happens within community. Strong singers build up the new singers, leaders emerge, soloists grow, and choir lets people express on an incredibly deep level with confidence, freedom, and connection. Whether working on a pop song or jazz or classical piece in class or while we're traveling to festivals in Hawaii, Banff, New Orleans, England, our choirs from Mountain make audiences cry, laugh, burst into applause. Choir is just a place where Unforgettable memories are made and lifelong friendships are born. I just love it, and I really hope I get to sing with you.
Hi, I'm Mr. Shelby, the computer programming and computer studies teacher. In computer programming, you can learn to code in C++ and a second language of your choice, such as Python or Java. We even have an HTC Vive virtual reality rig, and students can program 3D games in Unity. If you're interested in learning the basics of programming without the dedication, you can still enjoy the course learning the basic concepts of coding, but in a drag and drop environment. In computer studies, we cover everything to do with computers and the internet, from building computers to setting up a network. You will learn about the history of computing and viruses old and new. You will learn how to make a short video and put it on a website of your own creation. You'll also get to work on a personal project of your own choice. This can be anything from Redstone programming to building your own arcade machine to creating a music video. If you want to have fun, meet a great group of diverse people, and learn how to save yourself a lot of money, take computer studies and computer programming with me, Mr. Shelby.
Hey guys, how you doing? My name is, and what I do is somewhere at the bottom of the screen. Hopefully it's there. Say hi to my friend, Triple H, okay? So you know what I do, like I teach what's down here, okay? If you come to Mountain, I'd love to see you in our program. I'd love to see you, whether you're in our program or whether you're in art or band or video production, but I run the drama and theater program here. One thing about me, you probably don't know, I am a drama teacher, but I never took a drama class in high school. I was the shyest kid you would ever meet. I love sports, but you could not get me in front of people. You probably couldn't get me in front of a camera and say things. Drama personally and professionally has changed my life. There are so many things that you can learn from this subject matter. I love how fun it is. I love the pressure. We have an incredible program here. You'll have to experience that for yourselves. Our improv programs do really well. Halloween is huge. My grade 12s are very special. My grade 9s are special in a different way, but come say hi. I'd love to see you here, and peace out.
Hi there, I am the art and ceramics teacher this year at Mountain. If you're interested in anything artistic at all, it's a really great idea to take one of our courses. I teach one of them, ceramics, and if you really enjoy working with your hands, this would be a great course for you. We start off working with pinch pots and mugs. We move on to making figurines and vases and all sorts of interesting things. So you learn how to hand build. You can also learn how to throw on the pottery wheel, and we fire all of our items and we paint them and glaze them as well. So that one's a really interesting one, especially if you've never done it before, just to see the world of ceramics. The other course I teach is arts 9, 10, and drawing and painting 11, 12. And that one, if you feel like you have any artistic spark whatsoever, it's a great course to take. Even if you've never taken art before though, this is a course where you'll learn techniques and tricks and ways of doing different types of visual arts. So we work with painting, drawing, we can also work with collage and lots of mixed media products. Thanks.
I'm Mr. Cadell, and I am the video production teacher here at RE Mountain. From commercials and public service announcements to music videos and horror movies, we focus on all the steps that lead to creating a complete video or short film. In this program, we learn about camera functions, composition, planning, storyboarding, scripting, filming, lighting, sound design, editing, and special effects to bring the ideas from up here to the big screen. The program is collaborative, and almost every assignment is group-based, since making movies is more complicated than you might think. So working with others in a group setting is an absolute must. In the video program, we like to participate in province-wide film festivals, and we go on video trips to Los Angeles and New York to fully experience the 2 media capitals of North America. And let's face it, you're consuming media nonstop all day anyway, so why not learn about it and make some yourself?
My name is Ms. Freeman, and I have the pleasure of teaching fashion design and textile studies. Fashion design is a really fun course for students who enjoy working with their hands. Fashion design is an excellent course for students interested in fashion trends, environment, and for those wanting to pursue fashion design after high school.
Are we back? We're back.
We're
All
back.
right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for watching our video. I hope it helped to shed some light on what the requirements are for grade 9 coming in, and then also expose you to some of the electives that we offer. There have been quite a few questions come up on the chat. Mr. Keene has been so kind to answer them as we went, but I think maybe it would be good to highlight some of them in case anyone wasn't paying attention to the chat during the video. Just one thing I want to point out is that on our school website under course planning, we do have a lovely one-pager that outlines all of the required courses in grade 9. It shows the 2 columns for ADST electives and the AE electives. There was a question about those 2 columns earlier, and yes, we do require your grade 9 student to select 1 elective from the ADST section and 1 elective from the AE section. You'll notice though, that's a lot of the electives actually show up in both columns. We get this question a lot about a second language. I don't know if it's shown up yet. So a second language is not a graduation requirement. Okay, the Ministry of Education does not require you to take a second language in order to graduate. However, we do encourage a lot of students to select a second language because many post-secondary institutions will require it as a prerequisite for admissions. So just, it's hard to know what necessarily you're going to do after high school when you're coming in grade 9. So for the sake of just keeping options open, we often encourage you to select one of our second language options. And again, that's French, Spanish, and Mandarin.
And you do need that language until grade 11. So you do need to have like the grade 9 and 10 equivalencies for those languages if you're planning to go to post-secondary.
There was a question earlier, just while we're talking about prerequisites, there was a question earlier as well about whether you can do different electives in grade 9, 10, 11, and 12, or do you pick one and stick with it? So that's a really good question. We actually love kids to try a handful of different things, right? So all of our electives are set up so that there is no prerequisite. So you can go into graphic design 10 without having taken graphic design 9, or you can go into auto even. You can go into auto 11 without ever having taken power mechanics. So that's just, our teachers are able to differentiate enough in order to cater to beginners as well as more experienced learners in their elective areas.
There's a question about Mandarin. If Mandarin is only offered in IB, no, it is not. It is also offered in the regular program as well. So we have 3 languages, French, Mandarin, and Spanish, and they run both in IB and in regular.
Yeah, I think we're all paying attention to the chat now for questions. So if you have anything, even if it's been answered already, feel free to throw it up again, just in case we missed it.
I would also just say about the language, as you get into grade 11, that's when you really want to be paying attention to what program you're thinking about getting into in post-secondary. Different schools have different language requirements. If you went to SFU, you didn't need a language to get into arts way back when. UBC required a language for an arts degree, those types of things. So definitely once you hit grade 11, you would want to start looking at the programs specific to what your student's interested in doing to really see what they need. Because we have a lot of students even right now in grade 11 and a couple in grade 12 that are saying, I need this course as a program requirement, and I need to get this now so I can take this next course next year or get into my program. We are a very full school. We are at capacity. So it's very, very difficult. Counselors have worked really, really hard to try to get course changes for semester 2. And in a lot of cases, we can't do it because we are at capacity. So students are having to go to online courses or alternate school like LEC or UConnect. So it's really, really important that, as we answered in the chat, that we get the most accurate information now, so we can build a timetable that best reflects what our students need and want. Because once we build the timetable, it's really, really difficult to add courses, because now everybody drops this class. And now we can add another class over here. That just becomes too difficult for us to do. So the more accurate information at course planning time from now right through grade 12, the better it is for us to build an accurate timetable. So just keep that in mind.
I'll answer that question about rank ordering alternates. So yeah, thank you for asking that question. So when you go to choose your course request, please, please, please put down as many alternates as you can, because as Mr. Keene just mentioned, our school is very full. So while we try our best to get every student their primary requests, there are times that we can't accommodate that. It just doesn't fit into their schedule. And so rather than having me try to pick a class for your student, it's better if you give me alternates and rank order them so that I can try to slot in, you know, their second or third choice. So yeah, also course changes. So if you change your mind about an elective once you start the school year is next to impossible. So please do put a lot of good thought into what classes you hope to take. I believe until our window closes, so I think we close on February 22nd for the grade 9s, you have up until then to make any adjustments to your course requests on MyEd. So even though you've posted, if you change your mind, you can go back in and change it up until February 22nd. That's when we're going to lock the portal. Yeah. I also wanted to mention, a parent had noted it, but on our website, on the same place where you find the one pager for course planning, it's also a very detailed course catalog where you can read a blurb about every single one of our courses, academic and non-academic. So if you're confused about what power mechanics might entail, for example, please refer to the course catalog, as it'll give you a better description. Tina, there's a question about IB, I think, yeah?
Yeah, I'll just answer the one right above it, which is it's been asked a couple of times in terms of if the students have a homeroom, and then the electives. So homeroom is not like the traditional sense of what it is in the middle schools, where you have one homeroom teacher teaching your academics, and then perhaps other teachers for explorations. Homeroom we have in the first 5 days of class, and it is one of the classes that they already attend. But the high school model, there are different teachers for each block, subject specialists as we call them. So your student will be rotating to a different teacher for math, a different teacher for social studies, a different teacher for English, etc. And whatever electives they choose for grade 9, like Mr. Keene mentioned, we are on a semester system, but those are their choices for the year. We don't have explorations like at the middle school where they rotate through multiple electives. They're choosing 2 elective choices, and those are their choices for the year. In terms of IB, there was a question about how I lost it now. How the IB program transfers into university credits. So if you complete the IB program, essentially it's a 2-year program in grade 11 and 12, and pre-IB grade 9 and 10 feeds into that program. So it's preparatory for IB. The IB program in grade 11 and 12, you graduate with a BC Dogwood diploma, as we call it, the diploma from the BC Ministry of Education, and you also graduate with an IB diploma. And so the universities honor that as having completed your first year of university. So when you finish your IB and you, for example, give you Simon Fraser University or University of Victoria as an example, when you complete your IB diploma and you're awarded your diploma, they give you 30 transfer credits, which is the equivalent of 1 year of university. You can then choose to apply those to, for example, you finished IB English, you can choose to apply it to a first year English class, or they allow you to apply it to elective credits. But essentially that first year of university is finished and you could start your courses in the second year.
I'm seeing, can a Chinese kid choose Mandarin as a modern language course? Yeah, of course.
Yes,
so there is a difference between, you know, sometimes we have students come to us and say, hey, I am a fluent You know, I'm a fluent Mandarin speaker. Can I get second language credit for that? So unfortunately, no. When we are talking about post-secondaries requiring a second language as per admissions, they need a school credit. So unless you're able to challenge the course, which means, you know, you can speak, understand, comprehend, write fluently, that's something that we talk to students about that they can do in grade 11 and 12. But just simply, you know, speaking casually at home, we cannot grant credit for that. So they do need to take the entire school course in order to meet that admission requirement. There's a couple, I think, structural questions, Jeff, about semesters and how long blocks are.
Yeah, so right now, what model we would use, linear or semester, is based on a district decision. So we would have more information on that likely before spring break, which would then be shared with all of the parent communities for each of the schools. No students are not going to Hawaii this year. That was part of the video from a couple of years ago. We apologize for that. We weren't able to update the video for that section, unfortunately, so apologies for that. Right now, students are in 70-minute blocks, and block A is typically a homeroom, as Tina was saying. And really, we only have homeroom for attendance purposes to get accurate head counts for the district at the beginning of the year. And then typically, if there's any important information to share that's paper wise, we would give that to A block teachers to distribute to their classes for that. What else do we have?
First come, first serve. No, that's not how it works. So as long as you have all of your information and requests put in prior to February 22nd, we take all of that information to help us build a timetable, and it is not first come, first serve. It's kind of just like a big puzzle that we try to see what pieces fit together.
I just want to mention too, sometimes there are students will ask, you know, I put my requests in, but I didn't get my choice. Well, sometimes there's only 1 or 2 blocks of a particular course and it conflicts with another choice that they've made. So it's just not possible, which is why we ask for alternates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good point. Good point. A couple of questions about letter grades versus the proficiency scales. The new reporting order that the ministry released, grade 9s are getting proficiency scales. So emerging, developing, proficient, and exceeding. So that is going to be consistent for the move over. And in all likelihood, by the time your student graduates from high school, we're expecting it to be right through grade 12. So the ministry is hinting at, in the next 3 years, shifting completely over, is the information that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Students can take summer classes as well. A number of students do that in order to get ahead, especially in grade 10. Most grade 9 summer school is what we call remedial. And so that's for students that have taken it, didn't pass it, and so need it in order to move on to the next level. But once you get into grade 10, 11, 12, you can take those courses full credit at summer school.
There's a question about IB credits being usable for universities outside of Canada. So IB is an international program. It's an international curriculum. So the curriculum in grade 11 and 12 that we teach at our school is also being taught across Canada, in the United States, in Europe, in Asia. So wherever there's an IB school. And so IB credits are transferable to universities globally, in the United States and internationally.
There's a question about technology. I would say there's no required technology for our students here. However, a lot of our teachers have shifted to use Teams, as I'm sure they would have in middle school as well. And so that's a great communication tool, and some teachers will upload some notes, but for the most part, we are an in-person, full on, find a seat in the classroom kind of a learning environment. So while a laptop or a Chromebook or whatever is helpful, it is not required. And if it ever comes up that your student is unable to access technology at home for whatever reason, we have the ability to support you with that as well. So please definitely communicate with your counselor about that if that ever becomes a need. Yeah. Priority, yes, 1 is the one that you want the most for rank ordering your elective options.
Flex block is every day except for in our current system, a Friday, where we don't have a short week. So flex or focus flex, as we call it, is Monday to Thursday. It's 40 minutes long. And the idea with it is students are able to relearn concepts, retake tests, get additional support on content that's already learned. There's no new learning that happens during Focus Flex. And if students are caught up in a specific subject, they would stay in their first block class and they can work on other materials. In some cases, if a counselor needs to see a student, they might pull them to come down and see them during that time. But it's a case-by-case basis for the student and the counselor and the specific needs of that student. Can you request letter grades versus proficiencies? In the current reporting order, yes, it's there. It says that parents can request it. We would likely have a conversation in regards to why you want a letter grade versus the scale. But we would provide some form of a letter grade for you upon request based on the current reporting order. We are attempting to select electives and it will not allow us to submit more than 3 choices. So that would mean you've selected too many courses within the timetable. So you'd want to add that to the alternate requests. So in grade 9, I believe you're selecting 3, right? You're doing your 2 one ADST, 1 art, and a PE, right? And so from there, you're selecting your others. And when you are on the screen looking at the list of elective choices, you'll see like a double arrow at the top of the screen that will actually move to the next screen. So a lot of people ask, where is this? I can't find this course. In the list of courses, there's a double arrow at the top. You can just scroll over.
Yeah, Rika. So it's 1 ADST, sorry, Jeff, 1 ADST, 1 art, 1 language. If you do decide to go with the second language, you do not have to do the second language. It is not a graduation requirement. If you make that decision with your child, you don't want to continue with a second language, then please choose a second ADST or a second art elective.
Lunchtime is separate from Flex. Someone's asking about do students take lunch during Flex? No, Flex is an extension of that first block. We have a normal lunch hour, 40 minutes for lunch in the middle of the day. So they still get their lunchtime.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you want to take this? Wondering how the proficiency scales will transfer over to post-secondary?
So what universities are already doing is they're looking at a personal profile of a student. So it's not just based on grades anymore. It's based on what their personal profile, any sort of entrance, essay, a kind of a more holistic approach already. So that's what's happening right now behind the scenes is the ministry is working with the universities in the province to basically say, this is what we want to do. This is where we really see the benefit in our assessment of our students, so that we're not looking at numbers and trying to be a 95 or a 96 or a 99 and wanting these specific 1-point percentages. So that's what the ministry is working with right now. And we're going to likely be testing what that new ministry order would look like later next year or the following year. And typically they give us a 1-year test of it and then be implementing it for the following year. So as we're doing right now, we are the test school for Langley using the grade 9 proficiency scales. And then it rolls out in full across the district for all schools using the proficiency language for grade 9. So we would be testing again with the 10s, 11s, 12s, and looking at that. So it's a ministry having those conversations with the universities for that. Current bell schedule will likely stay the same based on where we are right now for next year. So we start at 8:40 is our warning bell. 8:45 we start, and we've got our 70-minute class. Then we have a flex block for 40 minutes. Then we transition to our next block, our second block, and then it's lunch. And then third block, transition, fourth block, end of the day.
Yes, for priority ranking again with the electives, yes, 1 is first choice and it goes down from there. I believe you can make up to 3. Can students bring in their own project cars for auto? So that would be something you could explore with our auto teacher, probably more in the grade 11, 12 level for auto. Power mechanics at the grade 9 level is just basic, like engine, very basic knowledge stuff. It wouldn't be bringing in cars yet and tinkering with them.
And what happens to, that question was asked a little bit earlier as well. What typically happens with auto is the auto shop teacher brings in cars from the community, and those are typically paying customers that pay for the parts and knows that students are working on those cars under their guidance. So when you have those types of things already in line, the personal student cars get put on the back burner. And when there's no jobs or free time for that student, then they can potentially work on their own car. But that's definitely a conversation that you would have with the auto shop teacher to figure that piece out.
Can you choose between girls, boys versus co-ed PE? So I think that choice is available to you in My Ed, but it does depend. This year, for example, due to certain confines within our timetable, all of the grade 9 PE is co-ed. So that is a selection that you can make, but again, we're going to build the timetable based on student requests. And so that is a possibility that may have to happen next year as well. We don't know that yet.
There's a question, does learning support take the place of an elective? Yes, it does. So if learning support, I don't believe it's a course that you can self-select on My Ed right now. However, that's a conversation that our learning support department will have with both Peter Ewart and Yorkson's learning support departments. We'll do articulation with them, and the students that are recommended to pick up a learning support block, we will connect specifically with you, the parent, prior to inserting that into their timetable. So for now, please do select a full 8 class schedule. And then if we need to replace something with a learning support block, we'll do that later on.
You can also make a note about that in the counselor notes section as you're selecting. If you're currently getting learning support at Peter Ewart or Yorkson, you can just put it in there. It doesn't guarantee based on what the needs are of the individual learner that you're going to get it, but it just kind of flags it for our counseling staff and us building the timetable.
Textiles 9, we are offering, it's called Textiles 9 Fashion and Design in My Ed. I believe I was looking earlier at the electives, it's on that second page of electives there. When you get in there and you're on that menu scrolling down, it's on the second page where you can find the textiles class. Is there an entrance exam for IB 11 and IB 12? So it is a program. So 11 and 12 go together, meaning that when you're in IB 11, those courses are 2 years in length. So you stay with that teacher for the 2 years in order to finish the course, get the credit for university. There is no entrance exam. Students are evaluated for the program based on having been in pre-IB. We have a team of 30 teachers in pre-IB and IB. We all work together. We all collaborate together and meet monthly. And so we know how students are doing, and parents are aware of how students are doing. And so those conversations would have been had. There's no need for an entrance exam at that time.
Are there any provincial exams like FSAs at high school? There are ministry graduation exams Those would have been running this week at Mountain, but the ministry canceled them due to COVID. They are the Literacy 10, Numeracy 10, and Literacy 12, and they are graduation requirements. So every student needs to take them. Every student needs to get at least a 1 out of 4 in order to be deemed have written it. If you don't write it, you don't graduate. There's UBC announced that they would be looking at the Literacy 12 for entrance, chances, well, at least this year. SFU said they're not looking at it, but they might look at it next year. So they might become another piece of the application process to get into those schools down the road. But again, more information comes out every year with those graduation assessments.
Yeah, and those aren't exams that students would study for per se. All of those skills are just covered in their coursework as they go through grade 9 to 12 here. So it's a little bit different than how provincial exams were structured.
Yeah. So I'm not seeing any more questions. And every 811 comes up.
Okay, so if you have a language requested, we will do our best to put that into your timetable. We will do our best to accommodate, of course, the 1 ADST, the 1 AE, and then a language if a language is indicated. Because we do recognize that post-secondary schools do require this for admission. So we will do our best to get that into the schedule. And then on the off chance that we can't fit it into your schedule for whatever reason, we will find a way to accommodate it so that your student could take it the following year in grade 10 and you know, have a good shot at doing whatever they wanted to do after high school. We would definitely make those accommodations.
Four courses, yeah.
There should be a list in there of ADST in when you're choosing from ADST classes and AE classes, but many of the courses cross both ADST and AE.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if it's possible to do this right now, but we will send a follow-up email to all the parent community at both middle schools, and either tomorrow or the day after. And I will make sure we attach the link for our one-pager document that highlights all of the classes that are available, and that very clearly identifies what electives fall under ADST and what electives fall under AE. And I will also include a link for our course catalog. So again, this is not a first come, first serve thing. Please don't feel rushed to get your course requests in. And again, if you change your mind, please go back and update those requests. We do want them to be as accurate as possible. And then you have up until February 22nd, again, to make any changes or to get it done. So please don't feel rushed to do it. Please take time to read through course descriptions so we all know what we're getting into.
Perfect. And remember to hit post, because if you don't hit post, we don't get your information. Make sure that you get that nice green screen to say that you're all completed and it's all saved and done. So that's kind of the key for all of that. So thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We love the questions, love the interaction. Again, apologize that this is the model that we have to use. But we make the changes on the fly, and we do the things to make sure that you get the most accurate information that you can in order to make the choices that you and your learner need for next year. So we are, again, planning on a number of different events for grade 8s coming into grade 9 as part of our transitions. So we're just hoping that we get the thumbs up from the health officers and the district in order for us to do that. But we do have 3 formal events planned, a whole bunch of informal things planned, basically between April and June, to help transition those students, because we get it. It's an anxious time. It's for some, it's right across the parking lot, but for others, it's a little bit more of a trek. And we definitely want to make sure that students are comfortable and confident coming into the building. And again, know exactly what they need to do in order to be successful. So again, thank you. Any information, thank you, Tina, for posting the course planning information there. We will have this presentation saved and posted on our website as well. So again, if there's any questions that you have, either reach out to the administration at your school that you're coming from, or reach out to any of us or our counselors, and we will help you as best as we can. And again, thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us. Looking forward to seeing everybody very, very soon. Thank you so much.